The last signal. The galaxy had grown quiet. Too quiet. Many said it was the silence of peace. But deep inside the council chambers, whispers grew louder. For weeks now, strange static had been caught by long-range listening posts. It was faint, broken, almost like an old distress call. Some said it was nothing, just background noise. Yet others believed it was something else, something dangerous. The Council of Nine gathered in their crystal hall, towering aliens with voices that shook. The walls. They argued about war, about borders, about old rivalries. But then the sound came again, sharper this time. A single word cut through the static. A word that froze even the most arrogant members in their seats. Human. No one had heard that. Word in centuries humanity had been gone, erased, their colonies abandoned. Their fleets vanished without trace. Some races claimed humans destroyed themselves. Others whispered they had simply walked away. No one knew for sure. The galaxy had moved on. Yet here was a voice, soft but clear, carrying across the stars. The council chamber turned to chaos. Representatives shouted over each other. Some demanded the signal be destroyed, others demanded investigation. A reptilian envoy hissed, "If humans return, they bring war. We cannot allow them to rise again." A tall crystalline being shook its form. But if they truly vanished, how can they speak now? In the end, they voted to send a scout ship. Small, fast, expendable. Its crew of mixed races would follow the signal to its origin. They set course for a forgotten system at the edge of known space, a place once marked with a simple warning: do not enter. The journey was long. The crew grew uneasy. The closer they came, the stronger the signal grew, repeating the same broken phrase: "We are still here." The alien pilot, a nervous insectoid, trembled at every repetition. His mandibles clicked nervously as he whispered, "How can they be here if they are gone?" When they arrived, the system was cold and silent. A dying sun cast pale light over frozen worlds, and there, drifting near the third planet, was a station, ancient but alive. Its lights flickered weakly. Its outer hull carried scars of battles long forgotten, yet its beacon pulsed with strength. The crew docked with caution. Weapons ready. Sensors scanned every corridor. The air inside was breathable. The machines hummed as if they had never stopped. Dust covered the floors, yet the systems ran clean. It was as if time itself had refused to touch this place. They moved deeper into the station, through empty halls, through silent control rooms. Everywhere they looked, there were signs of humans, but not a single human body, not even bones. It was emptiness wrapped in memory. In the command center, they found it, an ancient console still alive. Its screen glowed faintly. The insectoid pilot touched the surface, and suddenly the voice returned clearer than ever. "We are still here." The crew froze. Their eyes met. Fear spread like fire. One of them, a feline warrior with golden eyes, hissed in fear, "This is a trap. Humans are ghosts. They cannot speak, yet they speak." The crystalline envoy leaned closer, studying the console. His sharp edges shimmered in the dim light. "No, not a trap. This is a warning." Suddenly, the station lights flared to life. One by one, the corridors lit up. Machines stirred. Doors unlocked. The sound of air systems rumbled. It was as if the station had been waiting for them. From deep within the walls came a hum, low and steady like the beating of a heart. The sound grew louder, filling the halls. The crew's translator devices could not understand it, but every one of them felt the same thing. Someone, or something, was waking up. The insectoid pilot dropped his scanner. His hands shook. "We must leave now. This place is alive. Humans are gone. Yet this place is alive." But before anyone could move, the console screen flickered. A face appeared. Human, pale, shadowed, eyes sharp and burning. The voice spoke again, stronger now, no longer broken. "If you have come this far, you are too late." The feline warrior growled, stepping back. The crystalline envoy's glow dimmed. The insectoid pilot whispered in terror, "Too late for what?" The human face leaned closer. The voice dropped low, almost a whisper. "They will come. They will see. And nothing will stop them." The console went black. The lights dimmed. The hum grew louder. The crew turned as every door around them sealed, shut. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy remembered fear. The empty cities. The scout ship descended through a sky heavy with clouds. The third planet circled the dying sun, its surface covered in sprawling cities that should have been ruins. But they were not ruins. They stood tall, gleaming towers and wide streets, as if humans had built them yesterday. The crew watched in silence as they approached. No fires, no destruction, no signs of war, yet not a single ship moved through the skies. Not a single person walked the streets. The insectoid pilot's wings shivered as he whispered, "It is like a body without a soul." They landed in the center of a massive city. The buildings shimmered. With faint energy, their power sources still alive after centuries, the streets were perfectly clean. No dust, no decay, no weeds breaking through stone. It was unnatural, too perfect. The crystalline envoy stepped out first, his shimmering form glowing in the faint sun. He studied the empty streets, his voice calm but uneasy. They were here, but they are not gone. I can feel it. The feline warrior unsheathed her blade, her golden eyes scanning the silence. Every step echoed through the empty city like thunder. The crew's voices dropped lower, afraid to disturb whatever lingered here. They entered a tower, its glass doors sliding open without resistance. Inside, lights flickered on, machines hummed. Elevators waited as if they had been expecting passengers. The insectoid pilot hissed, "No one has lived here for hundreds of years. How is this possible?" The crystalline envoy touched a wall, and images bloomed across its surface. Human families smiling, children running, workers building. All images looped endlessly, repeating. They were memories trapped inside the walls. Deeper, inside they found apartments, all furnished. Tables set for meals, beds made, clothes folded neatly. Yet no human bodies, no remains. It was as if the entire population had simply stood up and walked away. The feline warrior growled, gripping, her blade tighter. This is not right. They left, but they did not leave signs of struggle. Where did they go? In the city's central square, they found something more disturbing. Footprints, thousands of them, pressed into the stone. But they all stopped in the same place. A wide circle where the ground shimmered faintly, as if reality itself had been. Bent, the insectoid pilot refused to go closer. His mandibles clattered in fear. I have heard stories, old legends from traders. They said the humans found a way to vanish into light, to step beyond stars. What if this is true? The crystalline envoy's glow dimmed. If it is true, then they did not run. They chose, but why? The feline warrior crouched and touched the circle. Her hand burned with strange energy. It pulsed, alive, and for a brief moment, she heard voices, thousands of human voices whispering the same phrase. "We are still here." She stumbled back, her fur bristling. "They are not gone. They are watching us." The crew retreated into the tower, but the deeper they went, the stranger it became. Screens flickered to life as they passed, showing news broadcasts, weather reports, human faces frozen in time. The date on every screen was the same, the last recorded day of human presence. The insectoid pilot whispered, "They did not die. They froze their world in memory. But for what reason?" Then they found the journals stored in small digital cubes stacked inside the archives. The crystalline envoy touched one, and words spilled across the air. "To whoever finds this place, know this. Do not search for us. Do not awaken what we sealed. We left because we had to, not because we wished to," the feline warrior hissed in frustration. "Sealed what? What are they hiding?" Before anyone could answer, the entire city shifted. The lights across every building flared bright. Street lamps ignited one by one. Doors opened. Elevators moved. The city was alive again, but still empty. The crystalline envoy's voice trembled for the first time. "This city is not dead. It is waiting." And then from the center of the circle where the footprints had stopped, came a sound. A low hum, steady, growing louder with every heartbeat. The crew drew back in fear. For the first time, they understood the terrible truth. The humans had not simply vanished. They had chosen to leave behind a world that never stopped breathing, a city alive without its people, and deep within that, was the same whisper, louder now, filling every street, every room, every heart. We are still here. The Forbidden Archive. The crew left the city in silence. The humming still echoed in their ears. They flew their scout ship across the planet, searching for more signs. And soon they found it. A great mountain split open. Carved into its heart was an entrance. Massive doors of black metal sealed tight. Symbols carved into the surface glowed faintly. The feline warriors snarled as the doors opened by themselves. The insectoid pilot trembled and whispered, "This is no city. This is a vault." Inside lay corridors lined with glowing lines. Every wall carried human writing, warnings in dozens of languages. Some messages were clear enough even for aliens to understand. Do not open, do not search, do not follow. The crystalline envoy walked slowly, his shimmering form glowing against the dark walls. "Humans built this for a reason. Something is buried here," he said, his voice heavy with unease. Deeper inside, they found chambers filled with knowledge. Thousands of cubes and glowing discs stacked neatly. These were human archives, records of their science, their history, their discoveries. But many of them were sealed, encrypted, and locked with strange codes. The feline warrior pressed her hand against one, but it flashed. Red, refusing her, the insectoid pilot hissed. They wanted only their kind to open it. They never meant for us to see this. Still, curiosity burned stronger than fear. The crystalline envoy touched a console, and for the first time, the archive spoke. A human voice filled the air, calm, sharp, and commanding. "This is the last warning. Do not search for us. Do not awaken what we sealed away. Leave this place or you will join us." The crew froze. Their translator devices buzzed with interference. Yet the meaning was clear. The feline warrior whispered, "What did they seal? A weapon? A beast? A war they could not win?" The insectoid pilot backed away, his wings shaking. "We must leave. We must destroy this place. If humans feared it, we should fear it too." But the crystalline envoy would not stop. His glowing fingers traced the console, breaking through. The layers of protection. Symbols changed. Light patterns shifted. Until finally, one cube unlocked. The chamber filled with light, and an image appeared in the air. A galaxy map, but not as they knew it. In this map, great shadows stretched across, the stars enormous shapes that swallowed entire systems. The crystalline envoy gasped. "These are not fleets, these are not armies, these are something else." The human voice returned, sharper, filled with warning. "They came before, they will come again. We vanished not to escape but to hide. We left so the galaxy would not see. We left so you would not wake them." The feline warrior's fur bristled, her golden eyes narrowed. "Who are they?" The console flickered, and for one heartbeat the chamber filled with faces. Millions of human faces looking outward, eyes burning with silent warning. Then the vision ended. The cube shattered into dust. The console went dark. The insectoid pilot screamed, dropping his scanner. "We should not be here. We should never have come. The humans are not gone. They are hiding, and they are hiding something worse." As if to answer, the walls of the archive shook. The floor trembled. Lights across the corridors began to glow red. Alarms that had been silent for centuries now screamed through the vault. The crystalline envoy turned to the others, his shimmering form shaking for the first time. "We have awakened the archive. It knows we are here." Doors slammed shut behind them, seals locked in place. The path back to the surface was gone. The feline warrior slashed at a door with her blade, but it did not move. The metal was alive. Resisting her strikes, then, at the heart of the vault, another chamber opened. A massive door groaned as it slid aside. From the darkness beyond came a blinding light, and a human figure stepped out. Not a projection, not a recording, but a man. Tall, strong, his eyes burning like stars. The insectoid pilot fell to the ground in terror. "Impossible. They are gone. They are gone." The figure's voice echoed through the chamber, powerful and cold. "We told you not to come. We told you not to search, now it is too late. The Ghost Fleet. The vault collapsed behind them, sealing itself with a roar of stone and metal. The crew barely escaped to their scout ship. Their minds were shaken, their hearts heavy with fear. None spoke as the engines lit and carried them away from the cursed planet. But the signal did not end. It grew louder, clearer, guiding them deeper into the system. Against their will, their ship's navigation shifted course. The crystalline envoy tried to override it, but the controls resisted, as if some invisible hand steered the vessel. Soon the clouds parted, and before them stretched a sight that stole their voices. Dozens of warships floated in the void, human warships, enormous and ancient, yet untouched by time. Their black hulls gleamed with starlight, their weapons armed, their engines pulsing faintly. The feline warrior gripped her blade, her tail lashing in fear. This is impossible. No fleet can survive empty for centuries. The insectoid pilot's wings rattled violently. They are graves, ghost ships. They will kill us. But the crystalline envoy stared in awe, his shimmering form trembling with light. No, not graves. This fleet is alive, waiting. The scout ship drifted closer, pulled by a silent force. As they passed the first battleship, they saw windows glowing, faintly as if crew still walked its halls. Yet their sensors showed nothing. No heat, no life, no bodies. Then the fleet stirred. One by one, the warships lit up, running lights flashing, weapons shifting into formation, a formation designed to protect, to strike, to defend. The crews. Fear rose like fire in their throats. The insectoid pilot screamed. No one is aboard, and yet they move, the crystalline envoy whispered. Not no one. Someone we cannot see. The feline warrior snarled. Machines do not remember war like this. Something else guides them. The fleet aligned itself into a wall of steel and fire, blocking the scout ship's retreat. The alien crew felt their ship's engines stall, forced to drift. Then a sound filled the comms, a low heartbeat echo followed by a single human voice, calm and cold. You should not have come. The feline warrior drew her blade as if steel could fight ghosts. The insectoid pilot clawed at the controls, desperate to break free. The crystalline envoy bowed his head, his glow dimmed. It is them. It is the vanished ones. They never left. The warships powered their weapons, beams of light charged at their hulls, but instead of firing, they turned outward, aiming into the darkness of space as if preparing for an enemy unseen. The crew trembled, realizing the ships were not hostile to them. They were defending against something else. Suddenly, the stars bent. Shadows moved. Long, dark shapes slid across the void, larger than moons, colder than death. The fleet roared to life. Cannons, blazing, missiles firing, energy shields flaring. The battle began without warning. The scout ship shook as shockwaves slammed into its hull. The insectoid pilot wailed, "We are in the middle of their war." The crystalline envoy pressed against the glass, his voice cracking. No, not their war. This is what they hid from us. The feline warrior's golden eyes widened as she saw the shadows scream, whole systems of light shattering under their advance. The predators. This is what humans sealed away. Through the chaos, one battleship drifted closer to the scout ship. Its colossal frame blocked the stars, and on its hull were words burned deep in human language. The crystalline envoy read them aloud with a trembling voice. We fight in silence so you may live in peace. The insectoid pilot's mandibles clattered. They are not dead. They are not gone. They are here, fighting for us even now. The fleet moved like a living thing, thousands of guns firing as one. Shadows screamed as they broke against the wall of human steel. Yet for every enemy destroyed, more emerged from the void. Then, from the lead ship, a message pulsed across every channel. The voice was human, firm, unbroken by time. To those who follow, understand this. We vanished not in weakness but in sacrifice. We stand where you cannot. We bleed where you will not. We are the shield. The crew fell silent. Their fear shifted into awe. They finally understood. Humanity had not abandoned the galaxy. They had stepped into the fire, leaving only echoes behind. The crystalline envoy whispered, glowing brighter now. They vanished without a trace, because they became the guardians in the dark. And as another wave of shadows surged, the fleet answered with fire. Their war was endless, their silence eternal. But through the noise, the crew heard the same whisper that had haunted them since the beginning. We are still here. The truth beneath the stars. The battle outside raged like a storm of fire. The human warships fought with fury, yet their crews remained unseen. The alien scout ship floated helpless among them, its crew staring in silent terror and wonder. The crystalline envoy pressed his glowing hand to the glass. His voice was steady but heavy with awe. This is no war of today. This is the war that began before any of us were born. The feline warrior's tail lashed nervously. Her golden eyes followed the shadows that twisted through space like living nightmares. What are those things? They are not ships. They are not life. They are something worse. The insectoid pilot shivered, his wings trembling as he whispered, They are darkness given form. They devour stars. They swallow light, and humans knew. They always knew. The scout ship's comms lit up again. The human voice returned, louder this time. Not broken, not fading. You should not have come. You were meant to live without fear of this. But now you see, and you cannot unsee. The crystalline envoy lowered. His head, we were fools. We thought humans ran from us, but they did not run. They stood between us and death itself. Suddenly, a console on their own ship flickered to life. It was not theirs, not alien technology. It was human, glowing with sharp blue light. The feline warrior growled, her blade raised. What is this? How is it here? The console spoke, the voice calm but filled with warning. You search for truth, then hear it. Humanity did not vanish. Humanity stepped beyond the veil. We crossed where none dared, to fight what none could face. The insectoid pilot fell, to his knees, mandibles clicking in fear. They left reality itself. They went outside the galaxy. They went to fight in a place we cannot see. The crystalline envoy nodded slowly, his glow dim. They sacrificed their existence, not for themselves, but for all of us. The human voice continued, echoing like thunder. We erased ourselves from your histories, we sealed our worlds, we abandoned our homes because knowledge of them is dangerous. If you remember us, you may seek us, and if you seek us, you will awaken them. The feline warrior hissed. Then why speak to us now? Why let us hear? The console pulsed once more. Because the seal is breaking. The crew froze. Fear struck deeper than any blade. The crystalline envoy whispered, The shadows, they are returning. And as if to answer, outside the windows, the warships faltered. For every enemy destroyed, 2 more emerged. The fleet fought like fire against a flood. But the dark tide only grew. The insectoid pilot screeched, We must leave, we cannot stay, if we remain we die. But the scout ship did not move. The human systems had locked their engines. They were trapped among the vanished fleet, forced to witness, forced to learn. The crystalline envoy's body glowed brighter, his voice filled with sorrow. This is the truth humanity carried. This is the burden they bore. They vanished not in weakness, but in duty. Then the console flickered again and an image filled the cabin, stars bending, space tearing open. Beyond the tear was something vast, something endless. Eyes that were not eyes, claws that were not claws, shapes too great for minds to hold. The feline warrior gripped her blade, but her hands shook. That is not an enemy. That is a nightmare. The voice spoke once more, steady as stone. We named them the Devourers. We saw what they could do, and so we vanished, not to escape, but to fight. We will remain until they are caged again, and when we return, the galaxy will know peace bought by silence. The insectoid pilot sobbed, his mandibles clattering in despair. They are not heroes. They are prisoners of an endless war. The crystalline envoy's glow dimmed, his tone soft. No, they are guardians. And we are children who never knew what they gave us. Outside, the fleet roared again. Thousands of guns fired as one. The void burned with light. And yet the shadows kept coming. The humans fought in silence, but their sacrifice screamed louder than any words. And just as the scout ship's crew thought they could bear no more, the console faded, leaving one last whisper behind. Do not forget us. Do not follow us. We are still here, beneath the stars. The return. The alien crew drifted. In silence, their ship floated among the endless fire of battle. Human warships fought like gods, their weapons tearing shadows apart. Yet their crews were nowhere to be seen. The fleet moved as one mind, one will, one purpose. The crystalline envoy glowed dimly, his voice heavy. They fight for us still, and yet, I feel something else, something reaching for us. The feline warrior's ears twitched. She turned her head sharply, her golden eyes widened. Do you hear it? Voices. At first it was only a faint murmur, then it grew stronger. Thousands of whispers slipping into their thoughts, words in human tongue, translated through the very air they breathed. We are still here, the insectoid pilot covered, his head with his claws, his wings rattling. They are inside me, they are speaking to me. The whispers did not harm, but they did not comfort either. They carried weight, sorrow, sacrifice. They carried centuries of silence. Then the scout ship's systems flickered again. Lights on the control panels shifted into patterns not alien, but human. Symbols of Earth's languages flashed across every screen. Commands wrote themselves into the ship's code. The insectoid pilot screamed, "They are taking our ship." But the crystalline envoy raised his glowing hand. No, they are guiding us. The vessel lurched forward, pulled through the fleet into the dark void where the shadows came from. There, between stars, the crew saw something impossible. Figures stepped out of nothingness. Human figures, pale outlines glowing with white fire. Men and women, their forms half real, half ghost. They walked as if the void itself was ground beneath their feet. Their eyes burned like twin suns. The feline warrior gasped, her blade falling to her side. They are returning. One of the human figures stopped before the scout ship. His face was young but carried the weight of centuries. He spoke without moving his lips, his voice entering directly into their minds. You were not meant to see us, but the seal is breaking. We cannot fight forever in silence. The crystalline envoy bowed his shimmering form, his voice trembling. Why reveal yourselves now? The human's burning eyes softened. Because the devourers stir and your kind is not ready. We left to fight in the dark, but soon the dark will reach you. The insectoid pilot shivered, whispering, Then we are doomed. But the human's voice grew sharper. No, not doomed, not yet. You will fight beside us. Not in our place, but in our shadow. We return not to rule, not to destroy, but to stand with you when the storm comes. The feline warrior's claws dug into the steel floor. Then it is true. You never abandoned the galaxy. You never abandoned us. The human figure nodded slowly. We vanished to save you. Now we return because the end draws near. Suddenly the fleet outside shifted. The warships broke formation and surrounded the scout ship, their weapons lowered, their lights dimmed to a steady glow, as if the vanished fleet itself had accepted them. The crystalline envoy whispered in awe, They have chosen us as witnesses. We will carry this truth back to the galaxy. But the human voice cut in again, final and firm. The truth is heavy, and not all will believe. Some will fear us, some will hate us, and some will beg us to save them. But remember this, we are not gods, we are human, we are still here, and we are watching. Then, in a flash of light, the figures stepped back into the void. One by one, they faded, until only the warships remained. Their cannons still burning, their shields still glowing, their fight still endless, the scout ship's controls unlocked. For the first time, the crew could choose their path. The insectoid pilot looked at the others with trembling fear. Do we leave? Do we tell? Or do we stay and die with them? The feline warrior's eyes narrowed, her golden gaze fierce. We live. We tell. We let the galaxy know what waits in the dark. The crystalline envoy raised his shimmering form proudly, his glow stronger than ever. And when the time comes, when they truly return, the galaxy will remember the humans not as vanished ghosts, but as saviors who never left. Outside, the warships flared once more. Shadows fell, stars trembled, the humans fought on, unseen yet eternal, and the whispers followed the crew as they turned their ship toward home. We are still here. The vanished are watching. The scout ship raced back through the void, but the silence of space was no longer the same. The crew carried whispers in their minds, echoes that would never fade. They had seen the truth of humanity, and the truth was, heavier than any weapon, the crystalline envoy sat motionless, his glow dimmed to a soft pulse. His voice was quiet. We will return to the council, but what can we say? If they know, they will fear. If they fear, they will act, and in their fear they may destroy everything. The feline warrior cleaned her blade slowly, her golden eyes sharp. Better they fear, better they prepare, because when the devourers break free, there will be no time left. The insectoid pilot trembled at the controls, his mandibles clicking nervously. But what if they call us liars? What if they destroy us to silence the story? Before any could answer, the comms flickered again. A human voice whispered into the cabin, calm, steady, familiar. Do not fear. You are not alone. We are still here. The crew froze, staring at the empty air. The crystalline envoy bowed, his head, his glow brightening. They watch even now. Days later, the scout ship reached the heart of the galaxy. The Council of Nine gathered in fury and disbelief. The insectoid pilot spoke first, his voice breaking. He described the empty cities, the endless footprints, the archive, the fleet, and the shadows. The hall roared with laughter. Some called it madness. Some called it lies. The reptilian envoy hissed with rage. Humans are gone and good riddance. We will not believe children's stories of ghosts in the dark. But then the crystalline envoy stepped forward. His form glowed brighter than ever. His voice rang through the chamber like thunder. They are not gone. They are not dead. They vanished to fight for us all. And they still fight even now, even as you sit here in safety. The council chamber fell silent. Some leaned back in fear. Some whispered in denial. But then the lights across the hall flickered. The great crystal walls shimmered, and a voice filled every corner of the chamber. It was human, it was strong, it was undeniable. We are still here. The council erupted in terror. Some fell to their knees, others screamed, but none could deny the truth. The vanished were not myths, they were guardians, they were watching. From that day forward, the galaxy changed. Ships whispered of shadows in the dark. Colonies prayed to unseen allies. Children grew up with stories not of human weakness, but of human sacrifice. The feline warrior kept her blade close, her golden eyes forever haunted by the circle of footprints. She told her people the humans had not died, but had stepped beyond, stars to shield them. And they believed her. The insectoid pilot, though still trembling, told every hive he met of the voices in his head, of the whispers that promised protection. Some laughed, some called him broken, but when shadows passed near their systems and vanished without harm, they began to believe, and the crystalline envoy carried the memory deeper than the others, his glowing form brighter than before. He taught that humanity had not vanished. They had evolved into something greater, not gods, not ghosts, but watchers, eternal guardians. In silence, centuries later, when new explorers entered the forbidden systems, they found the cities still shining, the streets still clean, the stations still alive. And in the dark of space, the ghost fleet still moved, fighting shadows unseen, and, every so often across the comms, across the dreams of children, across the silence between stars came the same whisper. We are still here. The vanished were never gone. They had always been watching, always guarding, always waiting for the day they would step into the galaxy once more, and when that day came, the galaxy would not face them as myths but as the truth. The humans who vanished without a trace yet never left.